Miss Elizabeth Gray, 78, sits on a worn sofa. Her hands tremble slightly as she folds a faded family photograph. The house is modest, filled with old furniture, shelves heavy with books and keepsakes. Across from her sits Jason, 38, her only son, dressed sharply, phone buzzing in his pocket. His wife Danielle, 35, hovers nearby, polite but impatient. Elizabeth. Jason, this house is my life. Your father built it with his own hands. Every corner, every picture frame, it's my memory. Jason. Soft, rehearsed tone. Mama, I know. But you can't keep living alone. The stairs, the cooking, the bills, it's too much. Elizabeth. Snarls quietly. Too much for you, maybe. Not for me. I may be old, but I am not helpless. Danielle. Smiling, false kindness. Elizabeth, it's really just for your safety. A nice home, full of people your age. Nurses to help you. You'll have company. Elizabeth. Voice cracks. Company? I had company. I had my son. Jason shifts uncomfortably, avoids her eyes. Jason. It's decided, Mama. Tomorrow, I'll take you there. Just, trust me. Elizabeth's eyes well with tears. She grips the photo tighter. Elizabeth. You're sending me away, like I'm already gone. Int. Old age home, reception, next day. Elizabeth sits in a wheelchair, suitcase on her lap. The reception is sterile, beige walls, buzzing lights, plastic plants. A nurse smiles mechanically. Nurse. Welcome, Mrs. Gray. We'll take good care of you here. Jason signs papers at the desk. Elizabeth watches his pen scratch her future away. Elizabeth. Jason, look at me. He glances up briefly. Elizabeth, conted. Do you remember the nights I stayed awake sewing your school uniforms because we couldn't afford new ones? Do you remember the hunger I carried so you could eat? Jason swallows hard, says nothing. Danielle tugs his arm. Elizabeth, conted. I gave you everything. And this is how it ends? Jason doesn't answer. He turns, kisses her forehead quickly, then leaves. The sound of his footsteps fades down the hallway. Elizabeth sits still. The nurse wheels her into the dim corridor. Int. Old age home, Elizabeth's room, day. A small, plain room. One bed, one dresser, no decorations. Elizabeth sets the photograph on the nightstand. Elizabeth. Whispers to herself. This isn't home. This isn't living. She sits on the bed, staring at the door. Montage, life inside the home. Elizabeth eating silently at a long table as other residents mumble incoherently. A woman crying out for her daughter who never visits. A man staring blankly at the wall, food untouched. Nurses chatting at the station, ignoring the residents. Elizabeth lying awake at night, clutching her photo. Int. Elizabeth's room, night. Elizabeth opens a drawer, pulls out a notebook and pen. Elizabeth, VO. They think I am finished. They think I will fade quietly into these walls. But my mind is sharp. My heart still remembers. I will not die unseen. She begins to write. Int. Dining hall, day. Elizabeth sits with Margaret, 82, a lively woman with a sharp tongue. Margaret. First week's the hardest. Then the days blur. Some folks here been waiting 10 years for a visit that never came. Elizabeth. Softly. My son will come back. He has to. Margaret. Chuckles bitterly. Don't bet your breath on it, darling. Elizabeth lowers her eyes. Int. Old age home, hallway, night. Elizabeth overhears two nurses whispering. Nurse 1. That new lady? Son signed her away quick. Said she's too forgetful. Nurse 2. She seems fine to me. Sharp, actually. Nurse 1. Doesn't matter. Once the papers are signed, she's ours. Elizabeth presses against the wall, silent tears rolling down. Int. Elizabeth's room, day. Elizabeth writes letters in her notebook, unsent, to Jason. Elizabeth, writing aloud. My dear son. I don't need riches. I don't need comfort. All I wanted was your time. A chair across from mine. A voice in the evening. Instead, you gave me silence. Int. Visitor's room, 2 months later. Jason and Danielle finally visit. Jason looks tired, distracted. Danielle checks her phone constantly. Elizabeth. Jason. Do you even know what day it is? Jason. Sighs. Mama, don't start. Elizabeth. It's your father's birthday. He'd have been 80 today. Jason looks ashamed but says nothing. Elizabeth. You sent me here to die. But I am still living. And one day, Jason, you will feel the weight of this choice. Jason shifts, uncomfortable. Danielle stands. Danielle. We should go. They leave. Elizabeth watches them walk away, her body trembling with sorrow. Act 3, Climax. Int. Elizabeth's room, night. Elizabeth collapses, clutching her chest. Nurses rush in. Darkness. Int. Hospital room, day. Elizabeth wakes. Beside her bed sits Monica Reeves, 40s, an old family lawyer. Monica. Mrs. Gray? Jason may have given up on you, but I haven't. You still have rights. Elizabeth weakly smiles. Elizabeth. Rights? I only want my son. Int. Courtroom, day. Monica presents evidence, Elizabeth is of sound mind. Jason forged documents. The judge rules in Elizabeth's favor. Jason sits in silence, shame on his face. Elizabeth looks at him across the room. Elizabeth. I don't need punishment, Jason. I just wanted you to see me. Jason lowers his head, unable to meet her eyes. Final scene, Elizabeth's new home, sunset. Elizabeth sits on the porch of a small rented cottage, sipping tea. Margaret visits, laughing loudly. Across the street, Jason passes by, catching sight of his mother. Their eyes meet. He opens his mouth to speak, then closes it, ashamed. Elizabeth sips her tea, steady, proud. Elizabeth, VO. They thought I would fade. But I will not fade. Not while I still breathe. Not while I still remember. I am Elizabeth Gray. Mother. Survivor. Witness.